Hi everyone, welcome back. I have another skincare reaction video for you, and today it is all about Hailee Steinfeld's guide to glowing skin and easy everyday makeup, but we won't do the makeup part of this. This is on Vogue. I'm kind of like hopping right into this because, to be real honest, guys, I don't know much about Hailee Steinfeld. I know that she is very popular right now. I know that she's an actress and a musician. You know, it's funny, I was telling Carly on my team who produces this show, she was like, you know, she's been in all these different movies and shows and stuff, and she's like the actress that's gonna be like the actress and stuff. And then she's like, she's got a music career. And I thought, oh yeah, she's got that song where she like touches herself, right? Like that song. That's how I know her. There we go. Age gap, age difference. There we go. But if you tell me to, you know, sing a Madonna song, got you. Anyway, I think she is absolutely stunning. She is a gorgeous girl. I cannot wait to see what she does to get glowing skin because that is talking my language. I love a glow. I love having beautiful, just glowing skin. So I'm curious to see what she does. If you're new to my channel, my name is Susan Yara. I have been in the beauty industry for 2 decades. I started off as a beauty editor. I now have my own skincare line, and I love to educate about skincare and beauty in general here on this channel.
Hey everyone, it's Hailee. I am going to be taking you through my skincare routine and my everyday makeup look. First things first, gotta cleanse the face.
Oh, that was fast. I don't think Vogue tells us what that cleanser is. I didn't see it in the description box either, but I'm gonna assume this is a daytime look. It seemed like it was a cream cleanser, something gentle, no real idea, so I can't tell you much about that. But can you cleanse in the morning? Of course you can. If you want to cleanse in the morning, especially if you're gonna be wearing a mask, you really should cleanse in the morning. It's totally fine. It all depends on your skin type as well. I tend to have a drier skin type, especially now when it's cold outside and stuff. My skin just gets really, really dry. I'm also getting older, so I just naturally tend to go more dry on the drier side. So for me, I don't always cleanse in the morning, but if I am gonna wear a mask all day, like if I'm going into the office or something, then I do actually cleanse my skin to just make sure that there isn't any bacteria or sweat or anything left over that's gonna be trapped underneath that mask.
This has gotten me more compliments about my skin over FaceTime than anything I've ever used ever. This Cora Organics face mask. So I will do a generous amount. Pea size for me is like a whole handful. Sometimes I'll just use it for 10-15 minutes before I apply my makeup. Next step.
Wow, they're just like going through this skincare routine. This is going fast. Okay, Cora Organics, I think that they have some really nice products. I haven't tried a lot of the products, but from what I have tried and what I have seen of the products, they seem like they're nice products. I just really don't have much of an idea because I haven't used them. And I think at the end of the day, to truly judge a product, you have to give it a try. If you guys want me to try some Cora Organics products, tell me in the comments below. So the thing that makes this interesting that she is using it before she actually gets ready to put makeup on and all of that is that this is advertised as a sleeping mask. This is a hydrating mask. It has lots of hydrating ingredients like glycerin. It even has coconut water, which is much different from coconut oil, but it tends to hydrate the skin and it just nourishes it, really. And so there are lots of these nourishing ingredients in this, and it's meant to be used at night to probably like finish off your skincare routine before you go to bed. The thing that's interesting about this though is that she is using it in the morning. So she cleansed her skin, she put it on. I don't know, they didn't really show us if she actually like rinsed it off with water or if she toweled it off, because we saw her using a towel, but I'm not sure if it was like rinsed off or what. But what's interesting about it is that she's essentially just giving her skin that like boost of hydration and moisturization. So she could technically be done-ish. Like if she put on a moisturizer or even like a moisturizing sunscreen right now, she could technically be done. So can you use that in the morning? Yeah, you definitely can. Because it's so thick and meant to be a sleeping mask, I can understand wiping it off. It's just an interesting approach to take with it. You could also just technically use a hydrating serum and be done with it and not have to wipe that off.
I take this toner, little cotton pad. Voila. This is my favorite moisturizer.
All right, so she went in with a witch hazel toner. I am not one of those people that's like, oh my goodness, witch hazel is the devil. I just feel like witch hazel doesn't have that many skincare benefits to it. I know some people are always worried about like, you know, that it's distilled with alcohol and all that stuff. And I have said before that some witch hazel can actually be alcohol-free and not distilled with alcohol. You can even steam distill it, so you don't have to worry about alcohol at all. This does have alcohol in it. For the most part, I'd say that's totally fine if you're gonna use any hydrating ingredients, or if the product itself has lots of hydrating and nourishing ingredients in it. This has a pretty high amount of alcohol in it, denatured alcohol specifically, which can be drying to the skin, especially over time. And the way that she's using it in her routine just doesn't make complete sense to me anyway. So taking all that out about the denatured alcohol part of it and stuff, which I'm not, by the way, I'm not one of those people that's like, you can't have denatured alcohol in your skincare products. It's just, you gotta make it make sense, right? And what's funny is, so one of my favorite TikTok stars, skincare TikTok stars, who happens to also be a board certified dermatologist, Dr. Angelo. He is Derm Angelo on TikTok and on Instagram. He actually posted something not too long ago that I loved seeing, and that was being intentional with your skincare. And this is a prime example of not being intentional with your skincare and just kind of slapping things onto your skin. So she went in with this toner now, but she had just put on a moisturizing and hydrating and nourishing mask, but then she essentially just used something that does the exact opposite of that, right? So she went in, hydrated, essentially had like a layer of moisture on her skin, and then she removed it with something that's truly stripping for the skin, that we know can be very stripping for the skin, and she just went in there and used that to take it off. So it's like a strange combination. It basically just canceled everything out. So it was like just not doing anything that was intentional. And I think that's really important to think about when you are using skincare and when you're doing your skincare routine, to be very intentional. Why am I using these products? What do these products do? And that's partially why I like to do these skincare reaction videos, is because we can have a conversation about that. When we see people using products, especially when they're out of order, or if they're used like in a strange way or something, or just a different way, sometimes it's just interesting to discuss, why would you do that? Or why wouldn't you do something? So it's, this is all about just having a conversation. And this is a prime example of not being intentional with your skincare. She's truly just canceling everything out. So she could have just skipped both steps and we'd end up here, right where we are right now. So the way I would think about this skincare routine right now is that she cleansed her face, and then fast forward, and we're now to her moisturizer.
This La Mer soft cream to wear under my makeup. Well, to wear all the time, but I find that my foundation sits really well over it, so not too much. I feel like it goes a long way. I've been working for my whole life.
Okay, so she went in with La Mer moisturizer. You guys have heard me talk about this before. I have a whole video on it. I think that it has great ingredients, right? Like, these are ingredients that really are proven to hydrate and moisturize your skin. It's just overpriced. You don't need to. I've even, talked about other products that have a very similar consistency to it, even a similar smell to it, and in my opinion, work very similarly to it for so much less than what you spend on La Mer. I do understand though that people, if you've got the money and you want to spend the money, I mean, go for it, because it's not bad for your skin. So if you want to use it, use it. Just know that you're spending money that you don't need to spend on a product like this. I went ahead and I bought a small jar of this just to kind of give it a try before I did this comparison video that I posted on my channel. And I'll tell you what, I used up all of my La Mer and I completely enjoyed it. I felt like a fancy and I liked it. Sometimes that's just what it's all about. And if you want to do that and it's your money, then you should do that. That said, you don't have to. You can literally get a jar of Nivea, one of those little tins. You'd have the same results from it, I promise. Just give it a try. It's the same feeling, consistency, all of it. There's a reason why people love to use this underneath their makeup. Even makeup artists like to use it underneath their makeup when they're working on clients and stuff. And the reason for that is because it's a very occlusive moisturizer. It has petrolatum in it, it has mineral oil in it, it has all of these ingredients that are proven to be the most occlusive and the most moisturizing. So it is a really nice product. It's just an overpriced product is truly what it comes down to. But taking into account that we just cut her second and third step in this whole skincare routine. She didn't have a hydrating product in this routine underneath it. We can probably, since she didn't tell us her skin type, we can probably assume that she might just have normal skin. Maybe it's not oily, maybe it's not dry. And so she's able to go from literally just going from a cleanser to using a thick moisturizer, and that's enough for her.
Life, what feels like my whole life. And so I've traveled, I've had different people in different parts of the world do my makeup in different ways, using different techniques. And I think it's become more and more important for me, but I've always been really obsessed with taking care of my skin and making sure that it is the best that it can be. My skin, it's been a journey. And let me tell you something right now, I'll get a little bit closer so you can see. We are looking so good right now. I'm so happy about it. It's probably only gonna last about a week longer. I'm not gonna say that, I'm gonna take that back. Next, I use
okay. All right, so we are getting somewhere. Somebody, because I just saw another routine where someone her age pulled out the same exact sunscreen. So we're getting to sunscreen that makes me very, very happy, and it's a sunscreen that happens to be one of my all-time favorites. It's interesting to say that her skincare and her skin has been a journey. I actually have no idea what she has dealt with before. When you hear somebody say that, it means that they have been trying a lot of things. I'm willing to bet that she's associating this current good skin state that she's in with some of those products that she just used, and she's not realizing like maybe that had nothing to do with it. Maybe it was just her hormones got on track, she's aging a little bit, and actually like helped her skin just kind of come into its own or something. There's so many things, and unfortunately sometimes we correlate what we're doing in our skincare and stuff with what we're experiencing, and it's not always the same thing. This is why you need to be very intentional with what you're doing with your skin, is you have to pay attention. When you introduce a product into your skincare routine, after a few weeks, did it change your skin? What is it doing to your skin daily as you're using it? You really want to be very mindful of what it is that you're doing to your skin. That way you can know if it's actually working for you. And it's the same reason why you want to slowly introduce new products into your skincare routine too, because if you introduce like 4 new products all at one time and then your skin suddenly looks really good, you don't know what product it is that caused that. What if it was only one product that gave you all that like beautiful glow and stuff, but you don't know which one it is because you introduced 4 new products. The same goes for the opposite. If you get major reactions on your skin, irritation, dryness, sensitivity, if you introduced 4 new products all at one time, you also don't know which one caused it. It could be all of them, it could be one of them. You don't know if you introduce them all at the same time. So this is another reason why you want to be intentional with your skincare and know why you're using things. Because, you know, another thing that we tend to see is that people just buy new products and add them into their skincare routine without knowing if they actually are made for their skin, if that makes sense. Like you get that FOMO because you love skincare, or you see a celebrity or somebody talk about a skincare product that's brand new or something that they love, but you're not really sure why you're buying that product and why you're adding it into your skincare routine. I see messages from people about this all the time. They'll send me a picture of 20 products that they've just purchased and they're like, how do I use this in my skincare routine? It's like, well, you don't necessarily need all of these products. Tell me, what's your skin type? What are you trying to achieve with your skin? And I think that's really important to do.
My sunscreen. I don't leave the house without this. I have one in my bag at all times. It's so important. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. I'd say the #1 beauty tip that I've gotten from my mom is sunscreen. Wear sunscreen. She's always told me since day one, or stay out of the sun, which I tend to do. I really have found that working out and staying physically active has really helped. Well,
okay, so we saw her put on this Elta MD sunscreen. This is one of my favorite Elta MD sunscreens. Elta MD is just a sunscreen brand that I like in general. Props to her mom, first off, for telling her that sunscreen's like the best tip and to stay out of the sun. It really is the best tip she could have given her daughter. The only thing I would say is that she did avoid, I mean, we see her wearing this beautiful tank top that she's got on, and you know, she's obviously bronzy. I want to know what self-tanner she's using. I wish she would have told us that part of it, because this is a nice even glow. But she didn't put it on her neck, she didn't put it on her chest, she didn't put it on her shoulders. And I don't know if this is what she's gonna go wear out in the day, but if this is what she's wearing, she definitely needs to put sunscreen on all of the exposed skin that she has.
With a lot of things, mental health, and my skin ultimately, either turning my phone off or leaving it behind when I'm in the gym, and sort of allowing myself that time again to disconnect and just focus on me and the moment that I'm in. So I'm obsessed with this Luminous Silk foundation.
Well, there you go. That was the skincare routine. I can't help but say I'm a little bit disappointed because I expected some pointers for a glowing skin routine. I love this Luminous Silk foundation, by the way. I'm wearing it right now. It's one of my go-tos. It's been one of my holy grail foundations for a very long time. And I'm actually gonna venture to say, without even seeing her put this on, that that's giving her a lot of glow too, because it has a lot of like dewiness to it, and that's why I like it. All right, so then let's unpack this a little bit. Essentially, What Hailee Steinfeld did was she cleansed her face, she put on a really occlusive moisturizer, her La Mer, and then she put on her sunscreen. And that sunscreen actually is really hydrating. It doesn't feel like a matte texture. It actually feels like a nice hydrating texture, but it's not super heavy. So I would say she essentially just moisturized her skin is what she did to get this glowiness. And then she's gonna go in with her makeup to get really the glow that she's talking about when it's like a glowy skin look. So this is something that I think is very, very common. I used to do this all the time. I used to use my makeup to get the look I was trying to go for, which for me, I guess is like glowing skin. And now I've realized that yes, your makeup plays a part in that, but you have to have the right skincare routine to get that glow. If you see some of the skincare routines that I post, you know, people will say sometimes that I look like a glazed donut, or that I'm like super shiny and stuff. Or some people will even say I look like I'm greasy. I've seen those kinds of comments too. But for me, that's the right base to have for glowing makeup, because then you need less makeup to get that glow. It's all coming from underneath your makeup instead. What I tend to see is that people will put so much makeup on top of their skin that they're covering their skin, and they're almost essentially wearing like a mask or something with their makeup and creating a whole different look. But that look isn't necessarily them, right? Like if they take their makeup off, they look like a different person. And I don't think that's the way it should be. I think that your skin underneath should really shine through. So I was hoping we were gonna get some tips like that, but I would say that this is not a skincare routine that gives you glowing skin tips. This is a perfectly fine skincare routine if you take out the mask and then the toner with witch hazel. That essentially just cancels that one out. And then it would be a totally fine, totally simple, but totally fine skincare routine. You would cleanse, moisturize, put sunscreen on. In the morning, that really is all that you need, especially when you are younger. You don't necessarily need a bunch of antioxidants and different kinds of hydrating serums and stuff like that. That's something like someone like me needs, where you're closer to your 40s and your skin is getting drier. Then you need that kind of stuff. So that was Hailee Steinfeld. Tell me in the comments if you have any questions. Tell me who you want to see me react to next. Find me on Instagram. I'm at Susan Yara, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.